Hey everybody, welcome to that doggone show. Okay, this is Kirby, okay? And you can see Kirby's having snacks right now. We're gonna talk about, take a look at Kirby's fur. Take a look at his coat. Does anybody see how it shines? Okay, we're gonna tell you why his coat shines. We're gonna tell you why he's a lean, keen muscle machine, okay? Totally healthy, this dog. Totally has so much vigor. I mean, take a look at the shine coming off the coat of this dog. I mean, you got to get that. We're going to talk for a minute. I'm going to let you know everything I'm up to because I'm leaving here tomorrow morning around 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be catching a plane. I'm going to be going to Kelowna, British Columbia. I'm going to be doing some one-on-one professional trainings for some people. And I'm also going to be doing a lecture there on Wednesday night at the Royal Anne Hotel in Kelowna on Bernard Street if you'd like to come. And if you can't come at 6:30, our meet and greet, we start at 7. And if you can't meet that, stay home, kick back, and we're going to go live on TikTok. We're going to go live on Facebook, and we're going to go live on Instagram. Okay, so if you'd like to hear what I have to say, and if you've been joining me, you'll see, depending on the crowd, depending on the audience, depends on how I talk and what I talk about. Okay, and then from there, I'm going to Puerto Rico. We're nailing down the last bit of things with the Puerto Rican government for our university. That's right. The International Training and Healing Institute is now a university. And the reality is you can become a practitioner with us and then get your doctorate in natural medicine and indigenous medicine. You can also get protection under a religious protection, even all the way to vaccination. How's that? Is that good enough? You can also, with us, get indigenous protection that nobody's ever going to tell you what to do. There is no governmental system that will actually outshoot indigenous. That means we've had 3 doctors that went to court in the United States and they had to throw it out because they had indigenous protection. So we have a whole group of people coming for more indigenous protection. A lot of people coming over to get their corporations because guess what? Do you want to know what there is in Puerto Rico? Even though Puerto Rico is the United States, it's the greatest loophole in taxation in the world. Nothing better. I don't care what anybody says. There's nothing better. I've seen it all, tried to do it all. And you can buy a corporation over there and pay 4% tax, or buy 2 corporations and get a nonprofit and then put 4% tax into your nonprofit so that you can do what you want with it, okay? Just know this, doesn't matter how much money you give to the government, they're never gonna get enough money because it's just a machine and you're feeding this beast. That's it. You know, the roads are never gonna get repaired. Things are never gonna really get done because that's called slavery. So you better do it yourself. Now, also, once I get done in Puerto Rico, I'll be going to Barrie, Ontario. And in Barrie, Ontario, I'll be doing a full whole life coach certification, New World Practitioner course. My son, Dr. Sage Wolfe, will be doing the Wolfe Non-Surgical certification, along with, we'll also be doing a pelvic restoration course there. Okay, so you women, it's a 3-day course. You've never seen anything like this in your life before. Your pelvis is the holy grail. If you want more information, go to braveheartnation.com. Okay, Rama, you want to tell them a couple things before we start talking about the life of Kirby?
Well, I just want to say thank you for showing up today. And we'll be talking about what he eats, what we give him as nutraceuticals for him to have this life and be as healthy as he is. So let's start.
Okay. And just know this, everyone, that just so you know, and when I say this, I mean it in the nicest way. So 86% of the population is actually rotting out. Okay, that's what an autoimmune disease is. And 86% of the North American population has an autoimmune disease. That means you're rotting out. That means you're pooping in your pelvis. That means you don't know how to eat. That means you don't know how to drink. You don't know how to think. And that's not your fault. So I'm not putting anybody down, okay? So just know that's just like you could take massive personal action and learn how to love and care for yourself. You might want to try to do that for your dogs as well. But if you're not doing it for yourself, you're not doing it for your dogs. Most of you are feeding your dog kibble, so you might as well just be giving your dog Chips Ahoy, chocolate chip cookies, and you might as well give your dog just potato chips. The stuff you're giving your dog is garbage. I hope you know that dogs have more cancer than any other species on the planet, and they're not going to get any better because guess what? because their owners aren't very intelligent. Their owners are ignorant what a good diet is. All you have to do is look at the owners. You look at the owner, then look at the dog, and then it all adds up, doesn't it? Okay? So talk about Kirby. Talk about what vets wanted to do, and yeah, it's a party.
Yeah, so we got him when he was 1 year old. He's supposed to be a hunter. He wasn't hunting, and I don't know. His owners took him to the vet since he was a baby to get all the, the V's, and he got them all. And every time they would do one shot, he would stop wanting to go
hunting. It actually dumbed him down, and it got rid of his coating inside of his brain. How's that? Okay.
And so when we got him at 1, he got here in about 2 weeks later. He had just had a shot and everything before coming. He started getting this warts, looking like cancerous things all over his body, in his paws, in between each one of his little toes, and his legs, his arms, and his face. And he had a really big one right here in his little mouth. And so it just started getting really bad. Went to the vet. The vet wanted to medicate him, and they wanted to treat him with all this stuff for his skin that was all medicated. And I said, okay, thank you. I'll be back. Came home and talked to Dr. Wolfe, and I said, what do I need to do? And we started with, first of all, change the diet. I did started changing it when he got here. I said, no more kibble. So we started doing fresh fruits and vegetables in the morning with a raw egg, which he eats every morning. Loves all fruits. He will eat anything. He will have his eggs. He would have, that's basically his meal in the morning. And then when Dr. Wolfe told me first start, and we started with a daily cleansing tea to cleanse out his intestines.
Not a lot. If a adult, a human being, 150 pounds takes 8 ounces twice a day, then you would take the weight of your dog, and then you would give your dog, let's say if the dog,
he's 38 pounds.
So 38 pounds. So we'll say that he's 40 pounds. So we'll say that would actually be what? That would be 1/6. So what would that be? Well, that would be probably if you did 1/6 of the whole thing, and you were going to put that, we would only give him 1 serving, that we wouldn't give him 2 servings a day. So we're actually 50%ing it, and then we're going to go less. So all we would do is give Kirby 2 ounces, and that's all we'd start him, because guess what? We want to go really slow, so it just encourages. Because understand, daily cleansing tea for human beings and for dogs. Okay, you have to understand, for children or for anyone, it has no laxative. It has no stimulants. It helps to clean the blood, the lymph, the liver, okay, and the colon and the lungs. 5 different places. Okay, so it looks after the detox organs. Go ahead.
So we do the daily cleansing tea. Started doing that with his food, and adding black gold.
So you can actually add the daily cleansing tea into the food.
I do.
Yeah, you could add it into the water you want, but the dog might be like a little bit, finicky about it, but you can always try it.
So we do the black gold, and I do half a scoop.
Here's the black gold. Okay, so you showed the daily cleansing tea, did you? Here's the daily cleansing tea if you'd like. So just remember something, when you're making it for your family, okay? When you're making it for your family, you can give it to your pets. And I'd rather you start slowly and gradually, and then just really do it. You know what? Patience is such a beautiful thing. When we learn to be patient with ourselves, we're no longer a patient. And be patient with your pets as well. Okay, but just know your pets are going to get well a lot quicker. Why? Because they haven't been brainwashed by the medical system or by all the commercials. And they haven't been brainwashed that, about anything. So it's either going to work or it's not going to work, Okay? All right. Oh, listen, Kirby, don't do that tea, man. Don't believe in that tea. The reality is no, he's just going, I just want to lick. Okay, so here's the black gold. What do you want to say?
So we do, in the morning, I do a half a scoop and put it in his food to his breakfast. And he loves it. Because it has.
How much is half a scoop?
The scoops are in there, and it's about half a teaspoon, 1/8 of a teaspoon about.
No, it's actually half a teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon, yeah.
Half a teaspoon.
And I spread it in his food.
And you spread it in the food. And understand.
He loves it.
Now, does anybody understand what black gold does? Well, first of all, black gold is the best heavy metal cleanser, parasite removal. Okay. Also, it sucks up all the acid that's inside the digestive tract. It also drops off 70 micronutrients to your cells within your digestive tract. But when it gets to the large intestine, or for human beings and also for the dog, dogs have good bacteria too. The actual black gold, your good bacteria actually feed off of it. Okay. And understand something. That's why, when you take probiotics, it's going to help a little bit. It's going to help your dog maybe a little bit. But I stopped selling probiotics because I think it's not real. They're not real. You can't bring in a foreign body into the human body and think it's going to be great. Remember something. The black gold we give Kirby, or we give to our children or ourselves, that's what was in all the soil. It was still on your organic vegetables. We got all the humic fulvic we needed. But understand that it's always going to be this way. We're going to have to sell you things until we get them back into nature. All right? So you're going to take it away from nature, then we're going to bottle it, and we're going to have to sell it to you to keep on bringing you back to harmony. Mm-hmm. What else?
So he does that, and then we do another C60 oil. And this was key.
Iodine.
Iodine.
There you go.
This
is key, whether it's children, animals. It's key because this is C60 MCT oil. Mm-hmm. It's 250 to 300 times more powerful than vitamin C. You might want to sink that in. It is the strongest antioxidant on the planet, and that's bar none. Okay, here's the deal. It will actually go in and restore the digestive tract, restore the brain. If you don't believe me, I sip on C60, and how many times did you see me do it today?
About 7 times. Already.
7 times, and I'm not done yet. I carry a little 4-ounce bottle around with me, and when I empty it, I refill it. But understand something, I have perfect eyesight. I used to wear prescription glasses. And if you saw how much I can juggle in my brain, there's, I'm closer to 70 than I am anywhere. But the reality is I'm not going to act like a 70-year-old. So C60 will actually dismantle the symptoms from the V. I'm not making this up. We have people around the world that have gotten number 1, number 2, and the booster. And the reality is this, they're symptom-free when they do the black gold, black diamond, and they do the C60, and they do what we call front-end loading. So you better get that. So we're doing the same thing with Kirby. And haven't you noticed, since he's been on the C60, the black diamond and black gold, that Kirby's sharper? Okay? All right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's when I started doing it in his food as well, but he loves just taking in a little...
Oh, and just so you know, everyone, C60, just so you know, it's purple. I don't know if it'll show the color because it's not that thick, but here, you can see it. It's a light purple. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but understand there's a company called Purple Power, and they put palm oil in to make it purple. This is all made purple naturally. And just so you know, too, there's C60 out there that's made from sunflower oil, safflower oil, olive oil. The best ones are actually made out of hemp oil. We have the best hemp oil, it comes from out of Canada. We have the best MCT oil that you can buy, and that's fractionated coconut oil. And then what we do is ours is actually purple. Our C60 has 10% more, our MCT C60 oil has 10% more C60 in it than other oils. And I'm going to tell you that I know I have the best products. And the reality is you can't go around saying that or you'll get slapped in the face. And all our products are pure, they're organic. Anyways, your pet, if you've got a problem with your pet, just know this, that from arthritis to cancer to brain tumors, okay, to growths all over the body, we get calls every week. And I mean, we get a lot of calls every week now because of what we can do. And understand, people will say to me, well, can my baby take it? Can my child take it? Can my dog take it? Can my cat take it? Listen, there's not a product that we can't take except the amino cell. Is not for dogs. They're not big on chocolate, okay? So we don't want to do the amino boost on them. Mm-hmm. What's next?
So I would also put the C60 on the sores and that took me about a week and a half they started getting better and finally they started falling off. So I think this was key to get him to where he's at.
You have to understand the C60 is such a high antioxidant, the highest in the world. And it's so high vibrational. And remember something, everything is about vibration. So don't cheap out. Whether you buy our products or you buy somebody else's products, what you're actually doing is you're you're paying for a frequency that's so high that it knocks out the lower frequency things. Whether you believe it or not, all dis-ease is wherever it is in the human body or in the dog's body, the cat's body, it's all low frequency vibrational tissue. Okay. All right.
So we do that, and we do it twice a day. And that was key, like I said. And then when we put it on, he also licks it. So that also
and the more you do it,
yeah.
the more you put something on. Like you'll see, if you ever take a look at a bottle, don't go with the instructions. Call me.
Yes.
Or call Rami. My number is 469-861-8884. Or if you call my 800 number, you'll see it on my website. I'm number 5. All right. Or if you live in the Prosper, Texas area, just know this, that Rami will work on your dog as well. Our non-surgical, whether a dog has hip dysplasia, whether your dog has arthritis, whether your dog has fibroids, like I worked on Emmett and Stuart, that little dog. I don't know if you watched it, but he couldn't jump. He could hardly walk anymore. He kept wanting to be held. I worked on his whole spine, opened up his spine, opened up his hips, worked on every one of his joints, like his knees, his ankles. Yes, that's right. Dogs have knees and ankles. And I worked on that as well. And I also worked around his neck and loosened his neck up. Okay, so that's a 14-year-old dog, and he's just bouncing all over the place. And now Debbie, who is our master practitioner there, and she did Cellsonic on him, just like Rami does Cellsonic on Kirby.
Yes.
The reality is this, everything is based on frequency. Is there anything else you want to talk about over there?
No, and then we also added, for the inflammation, curcumin cayenne, which is an amazing product because it will bring down the inflammation 70% as soon as you start taking it. I was doing it about 3 to 4 times a day, and I would just mix it with
when
water.
Your pet has a lot of inflammation, some people will take the actual capsule, and you can dip it in olive oil. But if you have the C60, do it in the C60 coconut oil or the hemp oil, and then just put it in and slide it down his throat. Now that's what I usually do, but other people will actually hide it in something because the dog usually gulps it down, right? Okay. Some people will actually put it in other mixtures and then have the dog eat it. Okay. But you'll find out and you'll see very quickly how fast this works. And I've had people do as much as like Rami was doing is if the dog is really big in big trouble, up to 5 capsules, 1 capsule every 2 hours. If the dog is a medium dog, then it's maybe 1 capsule 3 times a day. But you know what? The deeper the hole, the more you need to do. So don't be afraid to just call us, right? Just call us.
Yes.
Okay? And understand something. Just like you go to the medical doctor and you take your pets there, it's time to wake up. It's time to really wake up. All right?
Then I will also add vitamins to his breakfast or during the day.
Sinonian minerals, which are going to be called in the next run we do, will be called the Perfect Day Multi. 150 different nutrients. That can actually be sprinkled right into the food. You only need to do 1. If it's a small dog, only a half a capsule. So you're not spending a lot of money. If it's a medium size, 1 capsule. If it's a large dog, you might want to do 2, especially if they're getting into a little bit of trouble. Okay? All right?
It's essential, and this will be just for his brain, and it did help a lot of his joints because when he came, he was also overweight.
Fatty acids.
Yeah.
And you're getting a lot of fatty acids from the C60, but this is like the highest concentrate of fatty acids. You know how you give your dog fish oil? Well, understand something. Fish oils will absorb, this absorbs 400% better than fish oils. All right, so just know that. You'll see when you start doing it. What about dry skin on my poodle? Well, believe it or not, you're going to do the C60. Yeah, and you don't need a big bottle. If you don't want to buy a big bottle, you can try this. You're going to know it. You just take this, put a few drops, rub it in, and also you're going to do the silver bullet gel. Okay, can I have that? And the infinite iodine. Here, I want to show you something, okay? Let's play with these for a second. But you can do the C60 and You only have to do a few drops, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, and just rub it in there
several times a day.
several times a day, and I guarantee by the end of the day it's going to look better.
Yes.
Now, if it's a really bad situation like an ulceration or something like that, you can also put silver bullet gel in. Okay, this is really powerful. And understand, if your dog is not well, you can give your dog a teaspoon of silver bullet gel. It doesn't taste. And your dog will lick it. It will not, and if your dog is sick, this is the nature's strongest antibiotic. You give them a teaspoon of this, maybe 1-3 times a day. If they're not in really good situation, you can go up to 5 times a day. Yeah, they can eat this. Okay, this is totally healthy, and this can go in their ears if they have infection. This can go on their skin. Okay, and the other thing is, you can use in their ears for infection. The first thing you're going to do with your dog is you're going to put infinite iodine in there. If you put infinite iodine in your dog's ear, just a few drops, leave it for about 3 minutes to 5 minutes. Then what you can do, massage it, move it around, just gently. And then what you can do is you can put in, Bright Eyes. We have the only fulvic nano drops made from fulvic, which is from humic, that you can put in your eyes to actually turn around burning eyes, cataracts. You can put this in your dog's eyes as well. But if you put that in the dog's ear, it's going to help to bring down the inflammation and the infection. And then the last thing you do is you put a little squirt of the silver in, and then you just move it around.
Yes.
The only thing you have to wait for is the infinite iodine. Give it 3 minutes and just sit there and stroke and love your dog. And then when it comes to the fulvic, it doesn't matter. Just mix it right in and then put a little squirt of the silver in, move it around. And then if you want, you can go in and clean your dog's ear the next day. But watch how your dog isn't roughing it. And you're not going to have that problem. I'm telling you, this is a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Dogs that go in the water often, you do that after they're done swimming or whatever, and it just because they immediately start scratching their ears. So with that, you just put it right after, you massage it before they go to bed, and the next day they have no itching, nothing. So it's amazing the results you get from using it.
Yeah, so just know this, that from the inside out, we want to heal on the outside in. So that's why we're putting a course together. And it may take us a little while, but you can always take your dog, believe it or not, to any Wolfe Non-Surgical therapist, and they're actually going to be able to work on your dog with their elbow if they've got a joint problem, spinal problem, muscular problem, And I'm telling you right now, if you've seen what I've done on dogs, what I've done on horses, I mean, we've taken thoroughbreds that were going to have to be put down, and we were able to actually fix them. So you need to understand something, everyone. Okay, veterinarians, medical doctors, and even naturopaths are limited by their beliefs. I think we all are, aren't we? And I don't have any limiting beliefs. I'm always going to hack it. I'm always going to figure out a way. I'm always going to figure out how to do this, because guess what? Okay, our pets are our family. And that's the God's truth, all right? They bring so much joy and happiness, and stop feeding them crap. And better still, stop feeding yourself crap, okay?
Absolutely. Yes, and keep his diet so important. So keep it up, and doing this nutritionals together with a good diet, and him eating. He basically eats raw food, a little bit of raw meat.
Structured water.
That's
all he drinks.
Meal, yes,
and guess what? You go ahead and you get a bowl of just regular water, and then get a structure unit, and then run the water through there, and then put the 2 bowls in front of your dog. Because guess what? Okay, and don't tell him about what you did. Okay, I'm kidding. And then watch what bowl they go to all the time. They will not touch the bowl that wasn't structured. And don't believe me, go ahead and try it. Mm-hmm. And remember, our structured water units will give you a 90-day money-back guarantee. If you don't think we're right, then you just send it back. And just know this right now, we do have our spring into summer sale on. So if you want to give things a try, go ahead and jump on in. And Dr. Sage Wolfe will be coming here, right?
He will be here May the 8th. Through the 19th, and we're going to have Tuesday the 9th, we will be having a free lecture.
And that lecture, they're going to be showing how the Cellsonic works and using non-surgical, and how people do not have to go to surgery, how you can reverse tinnitus, how you can reverse getting your spine fused, how there is no such thing as a slip disc, how that a fibroid is only made out of calcification and scar tissue, and you don't have to cut it out. And when the doctor says, we'll keep an eye on it for you, where does he live? Under your bed or behind the toilet? So the reality is enough charade has been going on. Now we need to really wake up because as you can tell, we're not getting any healthier. We are on a crash course. Like I told you, how many people here know that 3 out of 4 dogs will have cancer in their lifetime? Yes. That's really pathetic. Okay. They'll have inflamed fatty liver, cirrhosis of the liver, diabetes, everything that we have because your so-called dog food, you're feeding them the same food that you eat, okay? Or there could be a clue here. Yes. Right?
Yes, absolutely. And the change you'll see it immediately when they start eating right.
Oh my God, Kirby's so calm, he's so sharp, he's so active. I mean, you can see his coat. His coat just shines so beautiful. It's not dull. His eyes aren't dull. He doesn't have goop coming out of his eyes, nothing dripping out of his nose. He doesn't have like these boils growing on his rectum. You ever see the dogs that drag their butt across the floor? You do know they're full of worms, right? That's why they're dragging their butt. Mm-hmm. You do know that probably only 1 dog out of 100 do not have worms. So you go ahead and deworm your dog. But if you put your dog on Black Diamond and Black Gold, okay, and the daily cleansing tea, they'll never have heavy metal poisoning, and they'll never have worms, and they'll never have the bad bacteria. So their bowel movements are not going to smell like crazy because it's the only reason why they smell like crazy is the same reason why yours do. And that's because the good bacteria turns into bad bacteria, and it's called endotoxin. And when the bad bacteria fart inside your body, they create a lot of problems. Does structured water help with chemicals which have been perpetrated for 5 months? Or do I need a filter? I know you're not going to believe this, but if you have a filter, you want a filter. But you don't have to filter with a structured water unit. You can take it straight from a tap. And I know that there's naturopathic people out there that don't understand this, but they don't know what they're talking about. That's the real science. Not that I'm intelligent or something, but I have a shower head structure unit wherever I go, whether it's an Airbnb or a hotel. I just put that on there, and guess what? You can't put a filter on because filters become like a cage. You know, unless you've got a filter that backwashes, most filters have so much bacteria and mold and chemicals in them. They're not filtering anyways, so that's an illusion, okay? That's with most of them. But the reality is, if you structure it, even though the heavy metal might be in there, even though the chemical might be in there, your body does not absorb it. That's true science. Why don't you do your research? And if you think you're going to go to somebody who sells water and they're going to tell you that, they're not. Because who would ever want you to buy a structure unit that never wears out, never breaks down? Can you grab it? It never breaks down. I mean, you could pass it on in your will if you wanted. And not just that. You can structure everything. Anything the dog drinks, everything you drink. And those of you who do drink alcohol, just know this. There's no such thing as having a drink at night and it's good for you. That's crock. There is no amount of alcohol that's good for you. The reality is if you're going to drink, run it through here. And let's say you get a bottle of rye. Just do 1 ounce through here, put it into the rye bottle, and guess what? You won't have a hangover from drinking. I'm not kidding. You run the wine through here, you're not going to have a hangover. Run the beer through here, you're not going to have the hangover. The hangover is actually you poisoned yourself. So you will structure it. You will catch a buzz faster. And the reality, that doesn't mean you drink more. I see them spraying us every day. Well, the reality is like I've been in here in Texas, and the chemtrails are heavy duty. They're out there every day. But the reality is, I can live anywhere. Just stop, mind your own business. They're not going to stop spraying right now. They're not going to stop poisoning the water. They're not going to stop poisoning the food. Why don't you just take massive personal action? Because nobody's going to do anything. Your government works for an internal government called these psychos that actually signed a pact with an evil entity on this planet. That's not going away. Mind your own business. Make sure that you are getting your water the best it can be, your food the best it can be. You know what poisons everybody the most? And your pets? Is the stress. Okay, you catch cancer, they catch cancer. You get depressed, your dog gets depressed. You have anxiety, your dog gets anxiety. You know what? Mind your own business, because I'll tell you something. I love this planet. I have a great time. You know, when I get here, when I go anywhere, just trust me. If you've been following me, I'm somewhere new every 10 days, every 2 weeks, and it's going to happen until the fall. I'm just keep on going. But the reality is, Okay, where is a whole plant-based food organic restaurant? Boom. Where is the store? Boom. Where is the juice bar? Boom. Okay. All right. So I just do these things. You know what? You got to understand something. It's just a game. You know, there is no money when it comes to these psychos that are way up there. You know, they control the finances. What there is no finances. You know, the lower you vibrate, the more poverty consciousness you have. I hope you get this. And the lower you vibrate, the more low vibrational foods you feed yourself and your pets. Did you ever think about that? And the reality is why don't you go in and unleash your genius? Why don't you go in and find your passion and your purpose and then start gifting the world and then making the money that you say you can't make to eat right? But I got to guarantee you, everybody says, oh, this is too expensive, that's too expensive. You're addicted to chemicals, you're addicted to drugs. And if I were to add up the money that you spend, because understand something, I eat one meal a day. And structured water, once you have it for life. How many people go out there and buy bottled water? Every bottled water, Fiji water even, and all this other smart water has 120 or more chemicals in it. How's that for using your brain? I'm not trying to put you down, but stop being a commercial. Stop being a consumer because they're consuming you. And don't let them consume your pets. You know, the science diet. Really? Just give it a good name and then everybody goes out and does it. I mean, you feed your dog what? Raw, don't you? Mm-hmm. Raw meat, bone, everything like that.
Fruits, vegetables, raw.
Fruits, vegetables.
And his nutraceuticals.
And the nutraceuticals. And understand something. That's where it is. You know, understand, everybody, and I want you to get this. God love you anyway, but guess what? Stop telling yourself what you can't do, what you can't have, what we can't do, what we can't have, and how you can't do things. Do you ever get tired of hearing that? You know, we got given imagination from God Almighty. Let's use it. Yeah, what if you actually used your imagination? You never complained again about chemtrails, because who cares if you do? It's not going anywhere. Stop complaining about the poison they put in your water and the poison they put in your food. And they can't put the poison in your food if you're going to your local farmer, can they? They can't put the poison in your food. And if you do get fruits and vegetables that have been sprayed, all you got to do is put them in structured water. Mm-hmm. And guess what? It neutralizes the actual toxin, even if it's still on the product. I can prove this. I've been in structured water for years. And understand something. Why do the patients that have the worst diseases get well on our programs? You might want to ask yourself that. You know what? But you got to change your mind if you want to change your life. And that's it. So stop talking about the same things. Start talking differently and you'll have different. And that's how it goes. Okay? Because you and your pets could be playing the rest of your life. So let's just do this, okay? Let's turn our kitty litter into a sandbox again with our imagination and just talk about what we want in our life and then take massive personal action.
That's right.
Rami?
That's right. Well, we also want to let you guys know to join us this coming May 8th to go see Dr. Sage Wolfe.
What day is that? Tuesday?
That's a Tuesday.
Tuesday, May 8th, and it will, where's that going to be here?
It's going to be here.
It's going to be here.
You can contact me at 214-549-3721, and we'll save a space for you, so make sure you call us.
What it helps to reduce the swelling in intestines, or what helps with it? Well, first of all, let me just say this. Whether you're talking about your dog's intestines or your intestines, that's the holy grail. And the only reason why there's autoimmune diseases is because you don't know how to feed yourself. And understand something. Why don't we just take a look at the majority of the population's core that's on the floor after the age of 40? Yes or no?
Yes.
So, you know, every time that you have cramps, every time that you have swelling, every time that you have spasm, every time that you have low back pain, every time you have hip pain, every time that you have problems in your pelvis from the bladder to the cysts, to the ovaries, to the fibroids, to the endometriosis, to the uterus falling out of your vagina, to your vagina smelling, to your vagina is dry, to you can't get it up, that your prostate's swelling, all of this is pooping in your pelvis. And the best thing we just said was daily cleansing tea, black gold. That's the two things. It's not expensive. Go work with that and tell me I'm wrong. Does it help to add some hydrogen peroxide to container of structured water for cleansing fruits and vegetables? Yes, it does. It does help. You can also put in a tablespoon of baking soda in a sink of water with the structured water, but that's enough. Structured water changes the frequency. We are electrical magnetic spirit beings. Whether you want to believe this or not, we don't need to change the physical. If we can change the vibration, we change everything. If you were to change the vibration up here, like money's hard to make, nobody loves me, okay, I'm really dumb, there's nothing I can do, life never treats me well, okay, seriously? That's the majority of the population. You do know that, right? So if you were to actually start lying to yourself, you'd feel like you were lying, okay? I'm abundant, I'm healthy, I've got enough energy. I'm a genius, okay? I'm going to go grab my passion and my purpose and get going here. And you know what that would do? Well, your dog wouldn't be depressed anymore.
That's right. I love myself.
That's right.
Every day.
That's right. Does it help to add some... Okay, we did that one already. I don't know if there's any others. I'll answer them if we do. Where do you get structured water filter? It's not a filter. You get it from our website. It's on sale right now. Just so you know. It's called Spring into Summer Sale. And they're only $300, and that's $349.
Mm-hmm. They're on sale right now.
Yeah, they're on sale. So yeah, and they'll last forever. And if after 90 days you don't like the unit, you think I was wrong, just send it back, and we'll give your money back. Okay? I don't know what else I can say, but so go to store.docofdetox.com. Okay? Or you can just go to docofdetox.com and click on our store. And if you want to know more about Structured Water Unit, go into my library. It's the biggest self-care, self-love library, and it's free. Go read about structured water, but also go in there and do some real homework. I will teach you more in 4 hours than you've gotten the whole time through high school and probably university. Go watch The Highway to Health, and go watch Holy Crap, The Holy Grail. And go watch How to Become #1 at the Art of #2. And for you women who are really interested, go watch The Emotional Chemistry of Cancer, Disease, and Healing. And let's end this inflammation nation, because that's the only disease is inflammation. And depending on how bad the inflammation is, that's what the name of the disease is. And there is no diseases. There's just your body trying to talk to you and saying, when are you going to wake up and love me? Okay? Okay, I think that's it. Okay, listen, everybody. I'm taking off tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a one-a-day in the airport. I'll hit Kelowna tomorrow night. And Rami will be here. She lives in Prosper. If you'd like to come for treatments, or you want to come to the lecture, she's got a Cell Sonic here. Go to my website. Just so you know, Cell Sonic is the most powerful energy medicine piece of equipment, and it's been that way for the last 20 years. Nothing can outshoot it. It's 25,000 volts put into a love harmonic. It'll shut down stage 4 inflammation, and we can prove that. It'll actually help bones grow back together. It'll actually help the spine come back together. It will actually put in at such a high frequency, it can take scar tissue and make it into beautiful connective tissue again. And it can be used on animals. Great to hear that. As they harm the animals the same way they harm us. Well, no, they're not harming the animals. You're allowing them to harm the animals. We're allowing them to harm us. Absolutely. Because our parents were actually programmed and adulterated. That's why the word's there. And the reality is when we came here, we thought we had conditional love, and then we started walking and talking like our parents, and then we got punished for it. Meanwhile, we're just mirroring what our parents were. Too bad they didn't know that, right? Well, that's after the fact, isn't it? The reality is I'm going to keep on saying what I'm saying and try to see how many people we can wake up, because you deserve the best life ever. You deserve falling in love with yourself, letting yourself off the hook. No more chokeholds on yourself. No more talking bad about yourself and not letting anybody else do that to you. How do I find a practitioner near me with a Cell Sonic? I don't know where you live, but if you want to give us a call, we'll do. Oh, I know how. What am I talking about? If you go to my website, docofdetox.com, and go to the top of the page and click on Cell Sonic, there's a Cell Sonic world map there. So you're going to find a Cell Sonic near you. Okay? All right? All right. I think we should go. Yes. Because Lori's packing, and we want to go for a nice walk and go have a really nice salad. And, Rami's going to be, crying and because I'm leaving. Yes. And I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
I am. It's
No, you're not. Don't be goofy. Okay, all right, everybody. Guess what? 3, 2, 1.
You got this, Bravehearts.
You got this, Bravehearts. We love you. We truly do love you. We don't need to know you to love you. Okay?
And
God
call
bless.
us for the lecture too at 214-549-3721. And we'll save you a spot.
That's it.
All right.
Good night, everyone.
Have a good night.